What's going on, gamers? Yep, it's more Xbox news. You know how that works, right? Funny stuff. But so you know how AGN made those couple videos on the channel about Xbox abandoning Steam? There was a possibility of that happening. Well, we got some more intel here, or research work from Jez Cordon in a little clip saying he thinks that's definitely a possibility now. And I wonder if the Halo campaign Evolve has made them salty. You want to know what I'd have to say? All you had to do was add multiplayer. Yeah, I think so. So that's your fault. No, don't. But if you're trying to base that off of that, don't. No, don't do that, because Forza does fine. So my thing is that according to this post right here, Microsoft may not just skip Steam like PlayStation, because they're going to be copying PlayStation now, but they may pull off the games that are on there. Are we ready to get into this? Become a member for $3. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. Let's get into this. Okay, guys. So here's my thing. I think I'm figuring out the way Microsoft is basically thinking when it comes to exclusives, if they want to play the 360 game with the Xbox Helix, right? Which, I mean, if you're going to try that, you might as well go all the way. But I don't know, man. That's a major gamble to me because of how damaged your brand is and how ridiculous hardware is now when it comes to like affordability. And we see right here, Xbox is reportedly rethinking a Steam strategy for its next generation platform. Rumors suggest Xbox games may skip/pull off games on Steam. We're going to get to the Jez clip here also in a second. But this is what I think. I think what they're trying to do is make it to where the Xbox app in the Xbox store on PC is going to be competing with the Steam app. Good luck on that. They always try to do it way too late. This is something you should have been doing a while ago. And then in the console bracket with the Helix, it's going to be the Helix trying to compete with the PlayStation and the Switch, which I feel like Xbox hardware is done competing and it's pretty much done. But if Microsoft wants to play this game, I think what they're going to try to do is only have it to, if you're going to be playing Xbox games, they're going to copy the PlayStation ecosystem where it's like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PS6, PlayStation handheld. Xbox Series, Xbox app, Xbox handheld, Steam, Steam Deck, Steam machine. They're trying to do the same thing as the other hardware manufacturing companies. Besides Steam, which is kind of like app, but they make hardware, but it's like it's not that successful. So Microsoft wants to have a closed system to where its games are only in the Xbox Windows ecosystem. And I think Steam players are going to hate them for this because they're basically saying that in order to play these exclusives, I'm now going to money hat them and be more expensive than everybody. And you're not going to be able to get my games on Steam, which actually made PC gaming what it is. And you're going to have to go onto the Xbox app or to the Xbox store and start making your library there. They're not going to like that. And if you don't like that, then go get a hardware that's like a PC, but it's not going to have Steam on it. It's going to be specifically Windows for all Windows exclusives. Man, could you imagine Elder Scrolls 6 being only on Xbox? And the amount of sales they're going to miss on Steam and PlayStation and Switch too. Oh man, it's going to be bad. But they're thinking that that's going to force people to go buy Xbox hardware. This is what I think they're trying to do. They're trying to go back to the exclusive game when the market is at its worst. And by 2028, obviously prices will come down, but that thing's still going to be over $1,000 easily. I mean, look at the Steam machine. Though I think that needs to drop when the market crashes, but it ain't going to be till like a year plus, easily. Year and a half, honestly. So this is the game that Microsoft is playing. Let's see what Jez Cordon actually has to say here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this mic on here. And then we're going to talk about more here because I've talked about if you're going to play this game, pick a lane. Shaw Lady said the same thing. Don't try to be a publisher and a platformer. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pick a lane. And it seems like Microsoft, once again, when publishing is the only thing left, they want to go back to a game that they significantly failed at. It's pretty crazy. We're seeing this all over now. Xbox could abandon Steam again, right? 16 hours ago. That was 38. JB here. We'll read his post here in a second. Here it is again. Xbox reportedly debating on not releasing future games on Steam. We'll get to comments too. Same thing again. So it's like literally popping up big time, right? Here it is again. Xbox could also become exclusive on PC. stopping the release of its games on Steam and others. We see that, right? And here's the clip right here by Jez. So let's get ready to read this or listen to this and see what he has to say.
But I do know, like, Microsoft has some plans with regards to how they show up on PC, shall I say?
Okay.
And I don't know what that pertains to with regards to Steam, but the plans that I know about, and I'm being very careful here, kind of suggest it gives them a window to potentially pull out of Steam. So I would...
You heard that, right? There's a window for that. And it's something that's being considered. Because if she's talking about console focus and Xbox focus, remember she said she had a 4-fold plan, which I believe is going to fail, then yeah, this is it.
Not be shocked if eventually we do see a universe where Microsoft quits Steam.
Oh man, that'd be interesting.
But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think it could go either way right now. I'm doing my research. But I do know.
So that's basically what he said on that clip. It's something he feels like is spiraling right now inside of Xbox. He's not going to say it straight out, but that's what Jez is saying here. Then we got this guy too. Xbox Helix would be the first PC without Steam. Microsoft's next gen is caught between a rock and a hard place. A lot of people are actually posting this. That was on the 29th. Now we're on the 1st, and we're seeing more information come out here. So let's go up to JB's post right here. This is what he said. He said, Microsoft circling its wagons around its own PC storefront isn't far-fetched. No. With Jez Cordon floating the rumor that Microsoft could delist Xbox titles from Steam, the move fits the broader direction of Xbox's evolving strategy. Yeah, if anything is consistent over there. But you're still talking about cloud across other things, but that's just putting still Xbox all over. Making its own ecosystem the natural home for the pivotal identity-defining releases. Halo's failing. I don't know what to tell you. If Microsoft is also exploring a revenue-sharing model with Epic or GOG, the logic becomes even stronger. Consolidate the flagship catalog where it has the greatest leverage. Then distribute more selectively throughout aligned storefronts rather than reinforcing Steam's default dominance. They're going to try to challenge Steam. Yeah, isn't that kind of funny? So, you know, the funny thing, though, is that Matt Booty had said that don't expect every single player game to be on Xbox, though, coming forth. And we're going to try to do this yearly. This is why I say that when it comes to this company, they don't have a consistent strategy. And now we're hearing, oh, let's just go ahead and take everything off of Steam and let's just go full exclusive. Like, they literally just move all over the place. And this is where I just don't trust or take anything full face value when it comes to Xbox and Microsoft. You can't, because it's always moving the goalposts consistently and never being consistent on anything. Though we know they need to pick a lane. I would say go be a publisher and make as much profit as you can. If you're going down that route, you're going to be losing so much money. That's like saying I'm going to make 40 to 50 million Xbox Helixes and I'm going to sell them. And I'm going to compete head to head with PlayStation again. And in the PC world, I'm going to compete head to head with my app in my store against Steam. And I'm going to challenge them. Good luck against that. I'm going to see how much more territory you can take from Steam. But at that point, Steam is now getting robbed of Xbox games. And now PlayStation games are being moved off, besides like live service and multiplayer. But Steam was doing fine anyways, right? Because it has its own thing. It never got to that position because it had PlayStation games. That was just recently. Same thing with Xbox games, except some of them sold okay. But Steam is still going to be fine regardless. The problem here is that Microsoft is trying to find something to get Xbox to grow and work again. They're the ones that are really in the sinkhole. Steam is flourishing. PlayStation is flourishing. Nintendo is flourishing. Xbox is its own problem. It's trying to find a way to go. And it's pretty obvious they're basically exploring every alternative route that you possibly can. But what I see is a circle that leads back to what has already been tried, except this time you're going to have a hardware from a console perspective that is going to be triple the price of what a console gamer wants and is used to, maybe quadruple. And you are going to not be having your stuff on Steam, where the majority of PC gaming has grew historically. And you're going to force people to try to go into the Xbox app and use the Windows Store to play your games on PC if they do not want to get a nerfed PC without Steam. because you're designing it based off of Windows only. You see, this is like the route that I think they're taking. So like I said, it's going to be all about Xbox focus in the Xbox world, whereas on the PC world, you have the Xbox app, Windows Store. In the console world, you have the Xbox Helix, Xbox only focus, and then they're probably going to try, well, they already tried a ROG Ally, that didn't work. I guarantee they're probably trying an official handheld or something, though we know that's going to fail because that's a tough world. Good luck with that. But Sony's going to do their Switch-like handheld, which I think can do solid, but I don't know about doing amazing. Like I said, good luck with that. But that'll do better, obviously, than Microsoft's handheld. So next gen, we're going to have it to where Microsoft may potentially try to have maybe an optional disk drive attachment, kind of like the way Sony has been doing. They're just copying PlayStation. Everything I see you're doing is what PlayStation is doing. But the thing is you're not PlayStation. You don't have 95 million consoles sold right now. You never in your life sold over 100 million. The best you got in the 360 era was 86 or 87 million or something like that, which obviously was really good. Besides all those Red Ring of Death scams. But Nintendo and PlayStation has moved well over 100 plus million multiple times, even in the 150 million bracket, multiple times. Well, Sony only did it once, honestly. Nintendo did it 2 times with the DS and the Switch. But Sony did that with the PS2. But other than that, they still have consoles sell over 100 million, just like Nintendo. So I don't know how this is going to work for Microsoft, but I guess if you're going to try to go all exclusive, or you want to go down that route, like I said, you better try it fully then and get your answer. But I kind of feel like you've been getting your answer and you've had it back then. Now, with the market being where it's at, you are literally trying to, like, I want to ask you this question. You are literally trying to, right, appeal again in that 360 formula, but with Europe moving straight to PC. Europe does not buy Xboxes anymore. Hardly ever. Japan and Asia, the only thing you got left is America. So do you think that you're going to get those sales in America like that again? Though Europe was actually pretty strong in the 360 era. You're not going to have that this time. And now I'm going to want to be Steam. And Japan is the same thing. Outside of Nintendo, they're going to be PC Steam. And do what they do. So how do you get those results again? But at the same time, your hardware is 3 to 4 times the price of what a console gamer wants to see. Because if you're talking about hardware sales, what are we talking about here? Unless you have something underneath $1,000, like maybe in the $700 range, like a cheaper model or something. 800 is still pushing it. You're doing that right now with the Xbox Series X. You see what I mean? And if you launch the Xbox Helix next year before the market goes down, it's going to be pretty pricey unless you want to subsidize. But Satya said they're done subsidizing, right? So now what game are you really trying to play? And stop confusing the market. Like, you know what I mean? Because Jez is the main guy that's supposed to represent you, I guess, right? He has been for a while. I remember all those people got fired. He's left there. Matt Booty, who's actually in a high position in Xbox, said not too long ago, don't get comfortable with all single player games being exclusive. I feel like once again, now the messaging is split up into like 3 ways. Now we're talking about not just abandoning Steam, but pulling from it and making Xbox games exclusive on the Xbox app and store. And then Helix trying the 360 aspect. So what are you going to do? You're going to do that? You're still going to be a half exclusive company? They say 1 game per year. That's what you said. Or 2 games per year, maybe. You literally said that. And we'll see how it goes from there. Or are you going to be a full third-party publisher? You know what I mean? Like, we have to really figure this out. But it seems like Microsoft is not in that position to make that decision yet. They're still sitting there with ideas spiraling around. And yeah, you know what I mean? Keep brainstorming. Because you got to the Xbox Helix launch to figure it out. Just like we got to the PS6 launch to figure out how Sony is going to finalize the physical disc plan. Are you still going to have it to where you can get an optional disk drive attachment, like an extended hard drive, and you can still play your PS4, PS5 games and games that release before 2028? And then after that, nothing will work if it's something after 2028. You see what I mean? Like, those are answers. Is Microsoft going to do that? And even if they do, I don't think that will make much of a difference. But I think if so, they will try that with everything that we just talked about in this video. What do you guys think about Microsoft abandoning Steam and pulling everything off of it? I don't think Steam players are going to be happy with that, and I don't think they're going to want to go buy a PC without Steam or to go on the Windows Store to do anything. If anything, they're like, all right, then I'll just use Game Pass. But for something like Elder Scrolls, that has historically always been on Steam. It's always done really big numbers on Steam, really big numbers on PlayStation, and it's always been expansive. When you think about Bethesda, they've always been that type of company. So I don't know how this is going to work by thinking that you're going to lock Elder Scrolls 6, the next gen Fallout, Fallout New Vegas Remaster, then Fallout New Vegas 2, all that into the Xbox ecosystem, where the modding world has grown and became what it is because of Bethesda and Steam together. I think you're going to piss off a lot of people, and it's not going to turn out the way that you think. So you need to think very carefully about this strategy, evaluate, and make sure that you don't make a mistake, even though you've already destroyed Xbox brand, to literally just commit Xbox suicide, when you could have just became a strong third-party publisher and made back all your profit, because you're locked in a 10-year Call of Duty contract. You can't make Call of Duty exclusive. That's something you can't escape, and that's your biggest moneymaker. You're locked in that 10-year contract, Microsoft. You can't get out of that till like, what, 2034, 2035 or something? Or 2036? That's a while to try to play certain games when your biggest moneymaker is always going to be multi-platform. You made that clear by putting Black Ops 1 and 2 on PlayStation. Where's the Nintendo Switch 2 ports? Why would you not do that? You're literally skipping money. That's all I got to say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Become a member, leave a tip down below. As usual, keep on gaming no matter what platform you're on. As you know, Microsoft's going to talk and have more news than anybody else. More than PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo put together. That's why I say you could have Sony negative news, though. It's just been this prime focus on just physical disc ending. But outside of that, Microsoft has like 70 damn things to tell you. And a lot of them are negative. Later, y'all.